Classic Crusaders voices.
Gotham Palace is on. It's my favorite show.
When Warner Brothers approached me about this project, I knew that James Tucker and Michael Jelenic were involved, and loved working with both of those guys. I just had a chance to work with them on different projects.
Holy, unholy alliance!
Collaboration from the two of them on this project was highly exciting.
They wanted there to be some campy silliness into this one.
I was so excited.
Adam, he has that voice.
To the Batcave.
He's the real deal.
We love you, Adam. That's so good. Adam West, Burt Ward, and Julie Newmar were all attached to the project, so that just heightened the excitement right away, from a fan's perspective, let alone a chance to work with them.
Holy Great Warfare!
I call it Batnip.
I'm soaring with the gods right now. I'm so lucky to be involved in this. They still got it, and it's great, and I love it.
Classic Cadre voices.
Project, especially the veterans, they certainly knew what they did back then, and they were able to, bring a lot of that to the table again. And the new actors who came in were such fans. They knew what to do to fit in.
Our greatest foes have reunited. I do love a captive audience, but we must be going.
The thing we looked for when casting this were actors who could bring the energy of the 60s Batman so that it would be iconic in its own way, so that it would honor the voice that most people hear in their heads for these characters.
The only thing these fiends will be multiplying with that device is their prison sentences. Great quivering jellyfish, the dynamic dunderhead.
We wanted to find something that would be true and likable by the fans, but also be a unique spin on these really classic characters.
I wouldn't expect you to understand, you boorish bird. Only those who view crime as an art form have true vision. Right, Joker?
It's up to us, and my job in particular, to hear something that maybe sounds true to something that's been done, and steer away from that. And they would automatically get it. That's not what they wanted, and we had all talked about that before we started the recording.
Also, we looked for people who were capable of delivering comedic reads, who wouldn't play the characters just one straight way, but could give us that wink and that nudge in the comedy between the lines so that the double meaning of certain lines would come through.
How do you hold a party in space? Answer! You plan it.
The reads that we ended up picking as our favorites truly stood out as the best among the masses.
Magic potions may not affect Batman, but I'm sure good old-fashioned fire does.
The actors that Wes found all did a phenomenal job of walking the line and also making you feel what you felt from the old actors, but also bring a fresh and modern approach to their characters as well.
Crime fighting leaves little time for affairs of the heart, Catwoman, but you're never far from my thoughts.
That's good.
It's a winner. So,
You good?
you want to do the adjustment?
Wes Gleason is amazing. I've always wanted to work with Wes because he's one of the top guys in the industry, and it took this to be able to do that.
Condense it all just a little bit. Great read.
He's so incredibly enthusiastic. I never know what he's going to say. I mean, you don't know what the director is going to say, but in this case, we all come into this as huge fans. So we all have that take on it.
He's wonderful to work with that way. He makes you feel strong and then helps you get stronger. A huge part of every session was just geeking out on what they already had, what they were going to do, talking about what the other actors were doing.
No one outbids the Princess of Plunder.
They were willing to work with us in any creative way that we could push them. And I think with us just getting out of their way sometimes,
Boy, Plunder.
they were even able to find stuff that we couldn't expect.
It was a geek fest during which work sometimes happened.
It's already hardening, Batman.
The physicality of voiceover is one of the most important things of being effective as a voice actor and knowing what your instrument is. Because people are like, oh, I can do a funny voice, I should be in voiceover. Well, no, it's I have a nice trumpet, should I be in the Philharmonic? No, you have to know how to do it, you have to have talent, and you have to know what it takes to be able to play that instrument.
I want my articulators warm. I want my throat ready to go. You know, I got to make sure that I'm well hydrated. So whatever they ask me to do
Drink a lot of
in
water.
terms of a physical instrument, I'm ready to go there.
You have to be careful not to have too many jarring movements, otherwise you're going to ruffle your shirt or you'll hit something to stand.
Love the reed. The pencil, I think, just hit the stand a couple times. I heard the little ding. There you go. Just smash it. There's a lot of technical constraints to voiceover because those mics are so sensitive and the atmosphere is so quiet. But at the same time, I would rather have an actor go over the top with their physical movements and sort of feel out the role. I think it really helps.
It helps that I co-wrote the movie, so I kind of know in my head what I'm hearing, and I know in my head what I intended for the rhythm to be.
I'm going to see if we can't tighten the space in that last one.
Oh, okay.
You have to know when to get in and when to get out.
They can visualize that moving event, whereas to me it might be a panel on a storyboard, and they've got a sense of how long that's actually going to take.
Letting the joke breathe, all that becomes a natural act, just like people hanging out. Then it becomes a memory and almost musical game.
It really is music, because if he talks like this, you can almost see musical notes.
To the credit of all the actors and Wes, the voice director, they were able to really not only catch the rhythms I was intending when we were writing it, but to plus it, to find laughs and humor in places that I didn't know they would be.
Holy... yes, gosh, yes, you're right.
I love that. That's good. That's a testament to great voice direction and great acting.
May I assume your twisted teammates turned the tables on you?
Where's your chivalry, Batman?
I'm pleased that it's a real homage to what we did, and yet it's entertainingly and cleverly updated.
Are you sure we can't kill them?
When you're older, you'll come to appreciate the pungent allure of the feminine mystique, old chum.
I like the dialogue. I think it's fun. It's raucous. It's just wicked enough.
They've brought together Adam and I and Julie, and they've made it current.
I've always wanted to rule from the stars.
This will go down in history as the greatest caper in the universe.
And when we three are done, there'll be no one to stop us.
There are 4 cats in this litter, you pudgy peon.
There were continued chances to see some of the talent in between our initial records and when we bring them back for ADR once we get rough animation back.
We went in to do the pickups for the automatic dialogue replacement for the ADR, so you get to actually see how it looks, and it's just wild to see, okay, that's you, that's your voice coming out of that character.
All of those actors were just so eager, so excited to want to see something, and as soon as they did, from our villains to the heroes, everyone was just so blown away.
Hats off to James and the writing staff of this for making it all work seamlessly and cohesively as a villainous team.
Our most perfect plan ever.
It's so much fun to do, you know. Don't tell anybody, but we shouldn't have been paid for that.
They really just delivered as far as finding something that could be over the top and yet still believable. Something that rang true to what we all might know as fans and yet had their own spin to where people would say, oh, that's Jeff Bergman's Joker. Oh, that's Bill Sawyer's Penguin. Oh, that's Wally Wingert's Riddler. And now they could be possibly as iconic as some of the other great performers that have had a chance to perform in these roles and these classic characters that people love so much.
Nice little behind the scenes.